Hey folks, Antar1011 here with a new black and white battle. My opponent today is JadeHex, a really good friend of mine. We've had a bunch of battles in the past, but they've all been PBR battles, so this is our first Gen 5 battle against each other. And I think he said that this was one of his first Gen 5 battles, period. So anyway, he leads off with a Hippopotas, and I lead off with my Gardevoir. And I'm going to go ahead and Magic Code, predicting him to use Stealth Rocks. But he doesn't take the bait and instead uses Earthquake and is going to get ejected by my red card, which is really value neutral for me. It doesn't really do me much good. Anyway, out comes Sigalith, and I've got nothing I can do to this Sigalith. So I'm going to have to switch out, otherwise I'm just set up bait. But before I do, I am going to go ahead and use Sunny Day just to get rid of the Sandstorm, just for now at least. So I'm going to go ahead and call my Gardevoir back and send in Ikea, that's my Chandelure, who will hopefully be able to break through this thing's incredible defenses that's only getting boosted harder with Cosmic Power. He's at +2 right now, so I'm hoping that Shadow Ball will be able to do something considering Chandelure's special attack is humongous, but it's not even up to 2-hit KO. He goes for another Cosmic Power, and so now he's at +3 on both of his defensive stats, and this is not looking good, to say the least. So I go for another Shadow Ball, and it gets him down to, it's still not enough to 2-hit KO, but I do get the defense drop. He goes for the Roost, but, barring a crit, I'm not going to be able to take this thing out. This is a full-blown Stall War. Yeah, so he just keeps on, so he's gaining health back with lefties. I go for the Shadow Ball, just praying for some hacks here, because that's the only way I'm going to be able to take this thing down. But he makes a mistake here, goes for the Cosmic Power instead of the Roost, and the Sunlight fades, and I'm thinking that actually it would have been a better idea for me to Fire Blast, even though Shadow Ball is super effective, because Fire Blast does have the higher base power. I should do the calculations there. But anyway, I do manage to take him out with another Shadow Ball, and so that is that for his Sigalith. Anyway, his Hippopotas comes back out, and I go ahead and hit it with Shadow Ball. I really wasn't sure why he sent this thing out. I get another defense drop, but not that it's going to really help me here. He uses Earthquake. I guess he didn't see that I had the Air Balloon and Forgotten. So, mistake on his part, it happens. But now, I shouldn't have just kept using Shadow Ball. It was really critical, and especially considering he has that, I'm sorry, I do not remember that Pokemon's name. Stoutland, yeah, Stoutland. Anyway, I should have predicted that. But anyway, I switch into River, knowing that he was probably going to use a Stone type Rock type or Dark type move, and indeed he used a Dark type move. I predicted the switch here. I figured he thought I was going to go for the high jump kick, and so I pulled back my Mind Shao and go ahead and send in my HCHB, hoping that it's finally time for me to set up my sweep. So I'm going to go ahead and go for the Shell Smash, because that's what I do with my Caracosta. And he's going to predict that well. Yeah, a little bit of... This is a long attack, I guess you could say. So he goes ahead and substitutes, and that's not going to be good for me, because now I'm not going to be able to one-hit KO it, because it's behind that freaking sub. And of course the Focus Punch set. And so I'm going to go ahead and go for the Earthquake, which is probably going to be enough to break his sub, and indeed it is. But his Focus Punch is going to get me down to my Sturdy. I'm going to go down to 1 HP, as you're about to see. There you go. And I'm just hoping that a +2 Aqua Jet will be enough to take it out. I mean, I don't really need to Aqua Jet him. I could just use Earthquake, but I'm pretty sure Aqua Jet, considering it's super effective, should do more damage. But anyway, he predicts that and switches in his Gastrodon, so he gets the Storm Drain, raises his special attack, and this thing's going to completely wall me. I'm going to go ahead and go for the Earthquake, just hoping that it's going to do enough to take it out, but it isn't, and he's going to get off a +1 Surf that, he really didn't need. I mean, my defenses were lowered anyway, and I was down to practically no HP, but that's all for me. I go ahead and send in my Gardevoir here, and I'm going to trace his Storm Drain, which is going to be nice because he's not going to be able to surf against me, and I'm going to go ahead and use Grass Knot, which, considering it's 4x effective, is indeed enough to take it out. So that's really great. I just wish I had taken that thing out before I'd send out my Caracosta. But I just didn't know how else I was going to deal with his Ghost Ground type. Anyway, yeah, so he takes me out with his Stoutland, and this thing is going to be faster than anything thanks to Sand Paddle. I don't actually remember what the ability is really called. It might actually be Sand Paddle. Anyway, he gets a very lucky crit against my Puff, my Magic Dragonite, which, you know, I was hoping would take that better thanks to multi-scale, but I don't think I'm going to be, I think at +1 I'm still not going to be faster than him. I really should have gone for the extreme speed, but I didn't, and that's going to cost me my Dragonite, which is really, really sad. Yeah, he's got a Life Orb, and he's just sweeping through my team. I go ahead and send out Ikea, and he's going to go ahead and crunch me, and that's going to be super effective, and that's going to easily KO me. So that's just awful. He's just, you know, sweeping through my entire team, and, you know, I've got nothing I can do against him. So River is choice scarved, but even so, he's going to outrun me, and I'm just hoping that I can survive a return, and I don't. And so my Mind Shell, my last best hope, is now down, and I've got this is my last Pokemon, I think. I go ahead and go for Sucker Punch, just hoping that's going to be enough to take it out, but it's not, and so he's going to go ahead and return and win the match. So great game, JadeHex. I hope to battle you again and give you a better fight this time. Yeah, just hope you enjoyed that, folks. Comment, rate, subscribe, and challenge. So long.